Last a tiny bit.
I can't. I'll shut down.
Just make take one step to the left.
You don't need to talk.
Kampfgruppe Keppler. Abteilung. Achtung. Stücke stellen. So the 23rd Panzer Division, after fighting in near the Prut River, just north of Jassy, they managed to halt with the aid of the Rasputitsa that drowned out the rivers and made everything extremely muddy, halted the Soviet advance into Romania. The Soviets would continue the offensive later on, but as of now, they were halted, and with the complete collapse of Army Group Center to the north with Operation Bagration, the 23rd Panzer Division was called in to try and stop the Soviet forces from breaking through completely. And some of their most vital objectives were to keep the Soviets out of Poland. For those that are going to be awarded the Kreuzzug gegen Kommunismus, it was an award that many Germans were awarded in 1941 or 1942, and continued to be awarded them for working alongside Romanian units. We could have been awarded at any point in our previous campaigns where we fought alongside Romanian units. And for those that are veterans of the earlier campaigns, they will actually have clasps on the ribbon itself, reflected in some way of their previous service. Herr Hauptmann, die Kampfgruppe ist fertig.
Weitermachen, danke. Guten Tag, Erste Kompanie.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag, Herr Hauptmann.
Danke, Hauptmann.
Interesting being back in this this square here. It's much more bombed out than it has been before. All right, so we will start off with promotions, move into awards. I want to say well done to everyone this campaign. For those of you that joined while this campaign was ongoing, I'd like to thank you for being a part of it as well. It's what we do as a unit. We will be moving into another campaign, and more even after that. Rekruten Peller, Flasdick und Flamen antreten. Im Namen des Führers und obersten Befehlshabers der Wehrmacht, ich befördere Sie zum Panzergrenadier. Congratulations, boys. Well done. Weitermachen. Welcome to the unit.
Danke, Herr Hauptmann.
Danke, Herr Hauptmann. Danke, Herr Hauptmann.
Panzergrenadier.
Panzergrenadier Kesselhut antreten.
Panzergrenadier Kesselhut, meldet an, Herr Hauptmann.
Panzergrenadier Kesselhut has been a part of the unit for more than a year. In that time, he has developed into an experienced MG-Schütze. His skill development of the MG-42 has saved lives on many occasions, both in and out of Zweite Gruppe. Besides being capable in the field, Kesselhut is also dedicated and passionate about his non-combat work. He earnestly pursues improvements to his impression and training. In his spare time, he has also co-authored an MG-Truppe manual along with Gefreiter Weiss. For all these reasons, as well as his time in grade, I'm recommending him promotion to Panzerobergrenadier. That's written by Unteroffizier Schmitz. So, im Namen des Führers und obersten Befehlshabers der Wehrmacht, ich befördere Sie zum Panzerobergrenadier. Well done, Kesselhut. Well deserved. Weitermachen. Unteroffizier Anwärter Gefreiter Klein antreten.
Obergefreiter Klein, melde down, Herr Hauptmann.
Gefreiter Klein's tenure as Dritte-Gruppes Gruppenführer has been forged in fire. Taking over a decimated Gruppe following the fierce fighting on the Kuban-Brück and Kopf, Klein has had the challenge and task of building himself up and a Gruppe around him. For the past year, he has dedicated a momentous amount of time and effort to seeing his Gruppe grow and develop into a fierce fighting force. Willing to learn and grow as a leader, Gefreiter Klein has taken his role in stride and learned several hard-fought lessons. Endeavoring to be a gregarious, decisive, and courageous leader, Klein has spent just as much time improving his own leadership skills as the rutting and training of his Gruppe. In-game, Klein has developed his combat skills and wholeheartedly learned the methods and tactics that make his Gruppe effective in combat. Through losses and dwindling manpower, though losses and dwindling manpower have become a constant struggle for his Gruppe, he has persevered and remained steadfast in his desire to see and grow his Gruppe. Outside of combat, Gefreiter Klein has organized game nights and play sessions with his Männer to help build Kameradschaft. His dedication to the unit is admirable, and his willingness to learn and improve as well as his willingness to learn and improve his impression. Gefreiter Klein has been enrolled in Unteroffizier Anwaltsschule for a year, and in that time has developed into an excellent candidate for promotion. Giving his enduring service to the unit as a Gruppenführer, his dedication to the impression, an example he sets for veteran Panzergrenadier, I'm recommending he be promoted to the rank of Obergefreiter. I couldn't agree more. Klein, you've taken some great strides in the last year with everything you've been doing. It's been really nice to see. Im Namen des Führers und Obersten Befehlshabers der Wehrmacht, ich befördere Sie zum Unteroffizier Einwärter Obergefreiter. Und dann kann ich weitermachen.
Danke, Herr Hauptmann.
Unteroffizier Einwärter Obergefreiter Kreidelheim, antreten.
Offizier Einwärter Obergefreiter Kreidelheim, melde down, Herr Hauptmann.
Kreidelheim, you've stepped into the shoes as Panzerzugführer, a position that many of you held before. You've taken on the role with professionalism. You've been working extremely close with me as we've developed the Zugführer-company-chef relationship. You've taken a lot of the things that I've said to heart, and you've earnestly tried to improve upon them. Outside of that, your attention to the Panzerzug, improving the impression, improving the tactics are exemplary and definitely befitting of an Unteroffizier. So, im Namen des Führers und Obersten Befehlshabers der Wehrmacht, ich befördere Sie zum Unteroffizier. Very well done, Kreidelheim.
Vielen Dank, Herr Hauptmann.
Proud to give you that promotion. Weitermachen.
Panzergrenadier.
Obergefreiter Junkermann, antreten.
Obergefreiter Junkermann, melde down, Herr Hauptmann.
Obergefreiter Junkermann is a model soldat. Since the formation of the 23rd Panzer Division, Junkermann has taken part in nearly every aspect of the unit, being it as a Schütze, Melder, Truppenführer, Funker, and finally as a Zugtruppführer. He is one of the few remaining men of Erste Zug with combat experience dating back to the 1940 campaign and the crossing of the Meuse. In that time, Obergefreiter Junkermann has yearned to develop and test his leadership skills in the heat of combat. Since moving into my Zug troop, Junkermann has enthusiastically pursued his own betterment and has set an admirable example for arriving Panzergrenadier. Having his veterancy and expertise close at hand, he has been invaluable and a boon to the fighting ability of the Zug. Outside of combat, the Obergefreiter has striven to serve the unit in even more important ways. For in the past year, Junkermann has led the Rekrutierungsstab. During that time, he has overseen the unit's largest swell in manpower. Obergefreiter Junkermann has worked diligently with all members of the Stab to refine and streamline the application process for new Rekruten, and has efficiently organized the acceptance and dispersal of manpower across the Zug. Between his combat veterancy and his service in the organization side of the unit, Junkermann has shown dedication and responsibility that sets him above the average soldat. For these reasons, I'm recommending him promoted to Unteroffizier. I agree 100%, Junkermann. You've worked your way up through the ranks, done pretty much everything the unit has to offer. Thing with senior Obergefreiters like yourself, you acquire the knowledge and the professionalism and the efficiency to be an Unteroffizier just through all your years of being here. Im Namen des höchsten und obersten Befehlshabers der Wehrmacht, ich befördere Sie zum Unteroffizier. Well done, Junkermann. Weitermachen.
Danke, Herr Hauptmann.
That is it for promotions. We're going to move into awards. As always, for the Infanterie-Sturmabzeichen im Bronze, the Verwundetenabzeichen im Schwartz, and the Kreuzzug gegen den Kommunismus. There's a lot of them to award, so you don't need to come up. I'll just list the names off. Awarded the Infanterie-Sturmabzeichen im Bronze, Panzergrenadier Engelbert, Panzergrenadier Krieg, Panzergrenadier Lübeck, Panzergrenadier König, Panzergrenadier Kastel, Panzergrenadier Retz, Panzergrenadier Lang, Panzergrenadier Esther, Panzergrenadier Hetzenauer, Panzergrenadier Bauer, Panzergrenadier Friedenhof, Panzergrenadier Henze, Panzergrenadier Lance, und Panzergrenadier Engel. So the Infanterie-Sturmabzeichen in Bronze is taking part in and surviving 3 or more combat days within the company in a campaign. And the Verwundetenabzeichen im Schwartz is awarded to those who are severely wounded and would have otherwise died if they were not revived by Sani, and they survived the combat day following the wound. Awarded the Verwundetenabzeichen im Schwartz, Panzergrenadier Lübeck, Panzergrenadier Krieg, Panzergrenadier Engelbert, Panzergrenadier König, Panzergrenadier Rez, Panzergrenadier Lang, Panzergrenadier Esther, Panzergrenadier Hetzenauer, Panzergrenadier Winter, Panzergrenadier Wagner, Panzergrenadier Lengfelde, Panzergrenadier Ambros, Panzergrenadier Bohm, Panzergrenadier Lanz, Panzergrenadier Engel, Panzergrenadier Peller, Panzergrenadier Flasdick, and last but not least, Weber, who somehow had not been wounded in all this time. Congratulations, well done. So for the Kreuzzug gegen des Kommunismus, the training period before the campaign is roped into part of the attendance. It's going to be much of the same for campaigns in the future. You need to be attending the training phase before them in order to qualify for some of these awards. Okay, awarded the Kreuzzug gegen des Kommunismus, Oberfenrik Berg, Obergefreiter Siebeck, Obergefreiter Huff, Panzerobergrenadier Krüger, Unteroffizier Reiter, Gefreiter Palos, Panzergrenadier Stadler, Panzergrenadier König, Panzergrenadier Kastel, Panzergrenadier Degen, Gefreiter Weiss, Panzerobergrenadier Kesselhut, Panzergrenadier Gensch, Panzergrenadier Esther, Panzergrenadier Lang, Panzergrenadier Winter, Obergefreiter Klein, Panzergrenadier Friedenhof, Panzergrenadier Bauer, Gefreiter Riegelmann, Gefreiter Kohler, Panzergrenadier Lengfelder, Feldwebel Wohlmann, Unterfeldwebel Fuchs, Unteroffizier Beck, Panzerobergrenadier Gerhard, Gefreiter Neumann, Obergefreiter Rodel, Unteroffizier Netto, Unteroffizier Kreidelheim, Obergefreiter Weber, Gefreiter Hoffmann, Gefreiter Reiser, and Panzeroberschütze Kracht. That's it for the long list awards. We'll move on to specific ones. Panzerobergrenadier Krüger, vortreten.
Panzerobergrenadier Krüger meldet an, Herr Hauptmann.
Few men in the company have spent more time in the Fahrer seat than Panzerobergrenadier Krüger. First serving as Unteroffizier Schmitzfahrer in Africa, for the past 4 months, Krüger has served as the Zugtruppfahrer. In both positions, he has proficiently managed the operation of the Hauptkelter, kept his fellow soldaten alive through numerous difficult situations. For his skill and time served in position, I'm recommending him be awarded the Kraftfahrungsabzeichen in Bronze. I think you're like the third person in the unit to get this award, Krüger. Oh, im Namen des Führers und obersten Befehlshabers der Wehrmacht verleihe ich das Kraftfahrungsabzeichen. Congratulations, Krüger. Stay up here.
Danke, Hauptmann.
So, Panzerobergrenadier Krüger kehrt So there is something we're going to start doing as a company, as most of our awards require you to stay alive for them. So someone may do something deserving of an Azonis Kreuz or something like that, and they might die during the mission, thus disqualifying them from the award. But it doesn't mean that their actions need to go unnoticed for the company. So we will start mentioning certain things in dispatches, which will in turn make it into the signal magazine. Alright, so northeast of Jassy, Romania. During the assault northwards towards Hugel 26, Hauptmann Keppler was ordered to clear through a small village under the eye of Soviet positions on the Hugel. As Erster Zug slowly cleared the sparsely covered village, the entrenched Soviets rained down schwere MG and Granatwerfer fire. Though the clearing was successful, the final moments of the push nearly resulted in catastrophe, save for the brave actions of Panzerobergrenadier Krüger. While the Zugtrupps SPV was advancing perpendicular to Soviet positions, having already pushed two grouping ahead to start the clearing, a Soviet PTRD anti-tank rifle was deployed from one of the far corners of the encirclements, or the entrenchments rather. In several successive shots, the track of the Hauptkette were knocked away, and Zugtrupp left floundering under the slight and active Soviet positions. As Maxim fire cracked overhead and dinked off the front armor of the Hauptkette, Panzerobergrenadier Krüger quickly dismounted under fire and set to working on the mangled tracks. As the fight raged up the hill, Soviets continued to engage the broken and clearly visible SPV in front of them. As the rest of Zugtrupp huddled in the armored cover of the SPV, Krüger diligently worked to repair the damages and return the mobility to the Hauptkette. Though the SPV was missing replacement tracks, he was able to perform makeshift repairs, which allowed the SPV to limp forwards to friendly positions. Panzerobergrenadier Krüger's brave actions and steadfast attitude in the face of the enemy is highly admirable. An important reminder to the men of the company that in the moments of difficulty, a calm, level-headed approach can unstick you from the direst of situations. That was written by Oberfennerberg. Well done, Krüger. Weitermachen.
Danke, Hauptmann.
Panzergrenadier!
Drop, drüber!
Unteroffizier Junkermann, vortreten.
Unteroffizier Junkermann meldet dann, Herr Hauptmann.
Since being assigned to my Zug troop at the beginning of our Kuban deployment, Junkermann has been informally deployed as the Zug's Scharfschütze. While working in his capacity as Zug troop Führer, he has effectively wielded his weapon in opposition of Soviet and American forces, tallying 20+ confirmed player kills in combat operations. For this accomplishment, I'm recommending he be awarded the Scharfschützenabzeichen dritte Klasse. Im Namen des Führers und obersten Befehlshabers der Wehrmacht verleihe ich das Scharfschützenabzeichen dritte Klasse. Well done, Junkermann. Weitermachen.
Danke, Herr Hauptmann.
Gefreiter Weiß, antreten.
Gefreiter Ferdinand Weiss, meine Damen, Herr Hauptmann.
Gefreiter Weiss is active in practically all the possible administrative billets in the 23rd Panzer Division. His commitment and determination to further improve the unit's impression to the outside world is truly remarkable. Spending months in the recruit liaison team, writing multiple combat manuals, dedicating his free time to research, and most importantly, stepping up as community outreach liaison are all worthy of recognition. His tireless dedication to growing the unit is a model behavior for fellow soldaten. Thanks to his activity, the unit has gained valuable partners among the RKKA community and hosts many new recruiting. His work has vastly improved and flavored the unit's immersion in the past few campaign days, and his recruitment postings have allowed us to begin planning future expansions within the company. So for all these reasons, I hereby nominate Gefreiter Weiss be awarded the Kriegsverdienstkreuz Zweite Klasse, written by Unteroffizier Schmidt. I agree, Weiss. You really sunk your teeth into the unit, and your work is exceptional, and it's a pleasure to work with you on different things. And I'm sure it's the same for many other people who work with you in the company. Im Namen des Führers und obersten Befehlshabers der Wehrmacht verleihe ich das Kriegsverdienstkreuz Zweite Klasse. Congratulations, well done, Weiss. Weitermachen.
Danke, Herr Hauptmann.
Unteroffizier Kreidelheim, antreten.
Offizier Kreidelheim, Herr Hauptmann.
On the 13th of June 1944, while acting as an alarm height in support of Grenadier Regiment 226 northwest of Jassy, Kampfgruppe Keppler conducted an assault aimed at seizing the wooded high ground north of Golesti. Once taken, the position blocked Soviet attempts at retaking the aforementioned village, and they soon began making increasingly spirited attempts to dislodge the German force. Weathering mechanized infantry assaults, mortar fire, and determined charges by enemy armor, the Kampfgruppe grimly held its positions thanks largely to the Herculean efforts of the two supporting Panthers. Particularly vital were the actions of Panzer 411, commanded by then Unteroffizier and Obergefreiter Kreidelheim, who, responding to sudden incursion of Soviet armor, set into the rear of the Kampfgruppe's positions and responded rapidly to the sound of approaching engines and engaged the interlopers in a small clearing. Over the course of half a minute and at ranges under 100 meters, Panzer 411 destroyed a T-34-85 and a M4A at near knife-fight distances, preventing the rolling up of the Panzergrenadier's southern flank. Witnessing this action from a nearby dugout, I recommend Kreidelheim for his timelessness and disregard for personal safety in those close quarters engagements of the enemy panzer, the destruction of which proved instrumental to the whole defense. And that is written by Unterfeldwebel Fuchs, who is right next to me in that dugout. It was really something to see you guys roll in. Quite literally saved the whole position getting turned. Im Namen des Führers und obersten Befehlshabers der Wehrmacht verleihe ich das Eisernes Kreuz Zweite Klasse. Well done, Unteroffizier. Weitermachen.
Danke, Herr Hauptmann.
Panzergrenadier!
Okay, we have one last set of awards to do here. This is the first time. It's quite a special award. This is the first batch of people who are going to be earning the 4-year service medal for their time solely in the 23rd Panzer Division. As many of us veterans around that were around during previous iterations of the unit, and a lot of our time in service does come from that. But these people getting their 4-year service award is almost a commemoration because it is the anniversary, the 4-year anniversary of our invasion of France campaign in 1940, which was our first campaign or proper campaign as the 23 PZD. So, Obergefreiter Fennet, Gefreiter Müller, Unteroffizier Schmidt, Obergefreiter Junkermann, or Unteroffizier Junkermann, antreten.
Unteroffizier Schmidt meldet an, Herr Hauptmann.
Unteroffizier Junkermann meldet an, Herr Hauptmann.
Gefreiter Müller meldet an, Herr Hauptmann.
You know, it's funny, I can still go back to the Oberfenrich's original videos and just certain screenshots I have, and seeing you guys around. I have a few of Recruit Schmidt. For a lot of you that don't know, Obergefreiter Fennet used to be the Erste Gruppe Gruppenführer as well. That was back then as well. Müller and all your Mannschaften videos. Fuck, you guys were retards back then, but it was all good fun and funny. And I distinctly remember, Junkermann, were you not a melder back then?
I was, Hauptmann.
Yeah, you were. I remember you bombing around on your crowd. That's crazy. I'm sitting back here kind of taken back. I got a big smile on my face knowing that you guys have been in the unit for 4 years and are still here. So, im Namen des Führers und obersten Befehlshabers der Wehrmacht verleihe ich das For Your Service Award. Congratulations. Well done, boys. Weitermachen.
Danke,
Danke,
Hauptmann.
Herr Hauptmann.
Danke, Herr Hauptmann.
Danke, Herr Hauptmann.
Gefreiter Reiser antreten.
Gefreite Reise, meldet an, Herr Hauptmann.
Im Namen des Führers und obersten Befehlshabers der Wehrmacht verleihe ich das Panzerkampfabzeichen im Silber. Congratulations, well done, Reiser. Weitermachen.
Dankeschön, Herr Hauptmann.
Unteroffizier Kreidelheim und Gefreiter Hauptmann antreten.
Unteroffizier Kreidelheim, meldet an, Herr Hauptmann.
So, this award is for the second level of the Panzerkampfabzeichen, which is taking part in surviving in 24 more Panzer engagements, Kreidelheim. Is that correct?
I think it's 25, Herr Hauptmann.
Okay. So, im Namen des Führers und obersten Befehlshabers der Wehrmacht verleihe ich das Panzerkampfabzeichen zweiter Stufe. Congratulations, well done, Kreidelheim.
Danke, Herr Hauptmann.
Weitermachen. I'd like to thank you all for turning out for the parade today. We're going to be moving into another Ausbildung period as a Kampfgruppe. A lot of the things that we're going to be covering will be made clear to you very soon. We're going to be covering stuff.
Roger, roger.
Very good. Soundboard in the middle of a parade. I love it. We're going to be going over a lot of leadership principles, a lot of soldier skills that we need, as well as a lot of maneuvering training that we need. We're going to be testing out various new layouts of the Kampfgruppe. Stuff like Erzsezug having their traditional 3 Gruppen, and 1 Gruppen going with company troop, as well as various different training that we need to do with Panzerzug in terms of Hauptkette movement, and yeah, other stuff like that. It's going to be a good training phase, and I'm excited for it. I'm also extremely excited to get into our next campaign. Okay. Hauptfeldwebel, vortreten.
Meldet an, Herr Hauptmann.
Die Kampfgruppe is yours.
Hauptmann Keppler, there are a few things that we're going to be working on and looking forward to up ahead, as Herr Hauptmann said. We are currently trying to model some more vehicles. We are trying to make more static props. We are trying to improve the uniforms and the professionalism of the unit, part of which we'll be creating courses. For every billet in the unit, there should be about a 4-week or so course. We're still hammering out the details on that, but you should be able to read more about it and apply based on things that we're going to be working on for the next week or 2 weeks or so. So keep your eyes open for the internal announcements on that whenever it comes out. Kampfgruppe Keppler. Wegtreten.
Game files to change my name.
Oh,
Congratulations.
Congrats, everybody.